Hi, I'm Kim. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about a little system that I use to help me clear out trapped emotions that are in my unconscious. Um, Briefly, the method that I'm talking about is based on Dr. Bradley Nelson's The Emotion Code. It's a great book. I'll put a link below in the description box and you can check that out. I would suggest you buy one and read it through, then give it to a friend. Just keep passing it along. What I've done is printed out, I just googled the emotion code chart and I use this system very loosely. I am not a legal practitioner of it, nor do I charge money, but this system I use for myself and I want to share it and in dreams and in my intuition, and I'm just being nudged by my guides every day. Make a video on this. They won't leave me alone. Just go, Kim. You have to make a video about this. It will help so many other people. So I've already tried to make the video like 11 times and I look so foolish. So please forgive me for that. Anyway, so we can get started on what the system is. I got the emotion code. I printed it out at work and I laminated it at work so it doesn't get all crinkled and I throw it away. And then I use a magnet. I have Uncle Albert here, Albert Einstein, to help me release these things. I did have a Radha Krishna beautiful magnet, but I used it on some people that I thought, bleh. So I need to clear and cleanse that magnet. So I'm saving Albert for myself. So this system is related to like EFT tapping. It releases emotions that we're trapped. And I did do a lot of work with that for a number of years. I think it's a great method. However, I think just like the old iPhone 4, it's way outdated. And this is like the new 10XR iPhone. Just faster and more direct. And it has led me into some pretty miraculous places. So first thing I want to tell you about using this method to clear out your unconscious. So you can do this every day. I have a meditation practice every day, and I also do a little bit of journaling and I clear emotions mostly every day. I ask first though. Sometimes I've cleared a whole bunch of emotions. It might be a few days before I'm ready to release more because I'm integrating and I'm healing and you're kind of detoxing too. So when I got this method, I went wild with it and I was like, finally, and I was taking out 30 a day. I just really I sort of obsessed about it, and so I'd write them all down, and then I got really, really sick. And this is about after like a week or two of just killing it with every trapped emotion, and so I released way too many quickly. And I got sick in the summer, and it was like flu, and the flu was not going around. My eyeballs were completely red. My son would come over and say, "Mom, can I take you to the hospital?" And I'm like, "No, it's a spiritual thing." He's like, "You are insane, lady." But it really was. It was a spiritual flu. So if you get this, don't make that mistake. Don't do 30, 40 a day just because you want to speed the process up and feel better and look better and have healthier, happier relationships. Take your time. Another thing I wanted to tell you of how it has developed for me, and this is, oh my God, it's the most interesting point about using it in this way. I don't know if Dr. Brad, meant it, but it really connected me to the source within myself. And the more emotions that I released, the more intuitive I did get my communication with myself, my dimensional selves. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. And all the other, guides, angels, archangels, whatever. I have a very clear connection now. And I don't know if it's just because of the time, my age, or because I've cleared out all this. But while I was doing this, I cleared out a lot for myself. And then I started to get inherited trapped emotions. And it led me into it very, very gently. I cleared them out both from my mother's side, a little bit, but heavy on my dad's side, the Mackenzies. I'm a Mackenzie. I'm Scottish, I guess. Anyway, apparently this has led me to know that that's my bloodline, and I came in as the newest member. I mean, I suppose my kids, are new as well, but I came in to clear their bloodline and to repair the DNA. The more I delve into it, I start to hear more people talking about, no, it's all about repairing and, evolving your DNA. And you inherited every trapped emotion that your bloodline, gave you. So this method, the emotion code, Dr. Bradley Nelson, led me to that part of myself that said, yes, the Mackenzies. And I clear as far back, sometimes 40 generations back. And that's 1,000 years. And I see the patterning. I've always felt more connected to that side of the family anyway, just intuitively, something about it. And I never changed my name. See, that's how dedicated I was. I've been married twice. And never would give up the Mackenzie name. I'm like, no, until you can top that, I'm not taking anybody else's name. So once I did really connect deeply, I was guided and had wonderful sessions, removing trapped emotions for my bloodline. And it's a wonderful thing to do. You connect with them. Sometimes you can experience it. Sometimes the emotions that you're clearing are like, God, this explains why everybody in my family has suffered with depression, alcoholism, had these different diseases. You hold emotions in different body parts, and the emotion code will tell you where the body parts are that you're holding it in and what the emotion is. It's a great, great list. Thank you again, Dr. Bradley Nelson. I think he's a doctor anyway. Or he plays one on TV. So the Mackenzies been through a lot, and I totally, completely feel them around me when I do this clearing, and I feel like they're just like, oh, she's gonna do it. Yay! Finally, somebody has woken up enough to realize this part of the game, or this part of life, this part of the illusion, this part of our mind, our heart, our soul. However you want to see it, whatever your belief is, you're right. We're sort of given the opportunity to create our own reality here, and that's problematic in and of itself. But anyway, so for this one little piece of the game, I'm going to give you a gift, a beautiful gift. It may change for you, and change it if you need to. I did. I'm not an emotion code practitioner. I do not charge money for this. I do use it at work if I work with psych patients, teaching them art and relaxation, which is, the fundamentals of transcendental meditation, basically, and how to relax deeply and how to connect inwardly. Some of these people have never even learned how to breathe deeply, and they're in there suffering with anxiety, depression, psychosis. I don't really do this on people with psychosis, unless I think your psychosis is part of a spiritual awakening you've gone through, and that's very few. But my guides tell me that person Some people really love it and have continued to use it. I like to turn people onto it. I am teaching you how to fish. I'm not giving you a meal, a fish, or whatever. I'm teaching you how to do it. This is a way that you can remove all those trapped emotions that are holding you back. I'm going to talk a little bit more about why this is, and then I'll show you how to use it. I'll timestamp that too, so I don't want to bore you to death. But I think that this detail is very important. And it's all in the book too. There's a bunch of systems that are similar, but the emotion code is the most current, fast-moving software to delete old programming that you will find right now. So it's based on the fact that when you were born, you were in a theta brainwave state, and theta brainwave state is almost like being in a hypnotic trance. And we know that in hypnosis, everything that people tell you, that we can affect the unconscious. You can be, given hypnotic suggestion to quit smoking or stop biting your nails and things like that. And it does work miraculously well for some people and not for others. But anyway, so when you're in the womb and when you're born up until about 6 or 7, you're in this theta brainwave state, and that's why everything seems so weird, and how your house, you remember it like so different, like it was huge, it just, I still am in this, not the same house. My mother still has the same house, so that was not anything. I kind of remember how I used to remember the house when I was little, and it was magical, and then later on, it's not that big, and how did we all live here? It just, things weren't the same. And you may have experienced that, especially if you went back after to a house, that you lived in between 0 and 7, and then you write, that is not at all how I remember it. Well, that's because you're in a different brainwave state. Theta brainwave state is that hypnotic state. The bad thing about it, it's almost like we're set up from birth to 7. Like, you could have like the most perfect parents, the most perfect life, but you're going to come in a theta brainwave state, and everything anyone says to you, you're going to take it as absolute truth. And this sets you up for a lot of woundings, because we have a lot of asshole friends at school and brothers and sisters, and parents make mistakes, and they get mad about something, mostly, who knows. But, and you don't have the mature reasoning to say, oh, okay, they probably didn't mean it, they're having a hard day, So by the time we're 7, we're heavily wounded already. A lot of our weird beliefs that usually just kind of surface in relationships are based on stuff people told us, or we experienced or thought, from 0 to 7 years old. So that's one component of the brainwave state theory of how we trap so many emotions, especially young, and that we don't remember them now because we're not in that brainwave state. It's like a state-dependent memory. And now I'm going to draw you something that you've probably already seen before. This is a big iceberg. It kind of looks like a triangle. And then the tip of the iceberg, right here, that's you. That's awakening. I mean, just everyday wakeful life. And down here is the unconscious. So, and this is just under the surface of our waking reality. And it's full of everything you've ever experienced in your life. just sitting down there rotting, getting gross, making you a weirdo, basically. Keeping you from being total, whole, and complete. So, all this stuff. I mean, I know it's overwhelming. I mean, I'm in my 50s. That's a lot of stuff. And my God, I have released thousands of emotions, if not more. And then a whole bunch for the Mackenzie bloodline. So we're winning. And I'm sure a bunch of other families are winning too. So, right here, that's what we want to get rid of, all this stuff. So, I'm gonna take my chart, and I got my magnet, and you're thinking, what are you gonna do with that magnet, Kim? So, the book also states, and this is brilliant, and I think some other modalities use it too, thoughts are electric, and feelings are magnetic. So, we're gonna use a magnet to remove these from our central channel. If you do it for yourself, and this is what I'm teaching you today, because I think that everyone, I mean, hell, just do it until, like, if you don't believe it, give it a week, try it, see if you can't connect within, and do it. But, you know, you find the emotion, and I'll get into that in a second because it's kind of weird too. And then when you remove it, you're going to rub it across your forehead and down your neck. That's for yourself. If you do it for someone else, you're going to rub it down their spine 3 times for a trapped emotion. If it's a trapped inherited emotion, you do it 10 times. The book will lay it all out for you. And you can get any kind of magnet. I like Uncle Albert. So the way that you find these, you tune inwards. You know, I have my own way of doing it. I've been doing this, doing tarot card readings for myself, any other kind of divination system that's ever been invented. I mean, I want to know. And I love to go inward. I'm introverted and an artist, so I'm very comfortable going inward, and I probably have been doing this my whole life, and that's why I teach the inward path through relaxation and TM and stuff to people, because I'm their guide. I've been inside, I've been in here, I prefer it here, I know the way in, and I don't know, maybe that's, you know, one of my talents. Outer world stuff is hard for me. So the way that you find the emotions in this is through kinesiology, psychoreflexology. It's muscle testing, and I would recommend you practice your muscle testing. And here's how I use it. I'm gonna take off this ring. So I make 2 loops with my forefinger and thumb, or is that your index? Anyways, the one right here. 2 loops. Okay, you're holding them tight, link them together. Okay. I tune in to my guides. I do it in a specific way. When I tune in these days, I connect to my highest self first, and then all my dimensional selves. And I might, though, you know, like in the archangels, angels and archangels, which that is part of a dimensional self. My guides, gurus, and teachers. Sometimes I feel very led towards Ganesha, and Ramana Maharshi. They're all in my stream. Pardon me, I know it sounds kooky, but I'm teaching you this. So you hold your fingers together like this, and you're going to want to ask a question that is true, or make a statement, a truthful statement, like, my name is Kim Strong. My name is Tiffany. Oh, and it breaks. And then you know the mind fuck's going to happen. You're going, well, you know, I just don't believe in that. That's, you know, I'm doing it, some other part of me is doing it, or I'm just making this up. I'm just making it up. That's what you're going to say. But trust yourself and get used to it. Start muscle testing for things like when you go to the health food store to buy vitamins, or whatnot, and you got a couple of choices. Like, I'm just this much chapstick. I could pick up a couple of bottles of vitamins. I'd put it in my lap. Like, is this the right calcium for me? Yes. And then you could take the other one, and the one that you test the strongest for, the one that gives you a yes, you should buy that one. Learn how to trust yourself. This does not work for lottery numbers. However, I've tried a lot. Not a lot. We don't have a lottery in Alabama, but okay. So I'll give you a little sample. So I've tuned in, and I'm going to ask, are there any trapped emotions that I can release right now? And I got a yes. So I'm pulling hard, and I can't break. The first trapped emotion I need to release is in column A, column B, row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, row 5. Row 5, kidneys and bladder. Okay, and we know that it's in column B and row 5. So the emotions in this are conflict, creative insecurity, terror, unsupported, and wishy-washy. So I'll muscle test for each of these. It'll be one of those. And you may continue to clear out that whole column or that section, in a session. You never know. I don't know how they gauge it, but so is it conflict? Is it creative insecurity? And I got a big yes on that one. Is it my kidneys? Is it my bladder? Apparently I hold everything in my bladder. Pisses me off. So, creative insecurity, did it happen before I was 5? Did it happen between 5 and 10, 10 and 15, 15 and 20, 20 and 25, 25 and 30, 30 and 35, 40 and 45, 45 to 50, 50 to 55. Is it about the current now? I'm 53. So it's about the current now, and I'm feeling, I guess, insecure creatively. I'm an artist. And I don't make a ton of money selling my own artwork. I am an artist in residence at a hospital though. And that's kind of my base salary, but it's really a part-time job. Whatever. So I'm feeling a little insecure creatively, and it's true. I'm feeling a little bored with what I'm doing, and I haven't gotten the inspiration for my next body of work. I mean, I'm making jewelry and a lot of flow paintings and the Ascension series. Yeah, enough about that. I love it. Nobody's buying this stuff. So I'm going to clear that, because I know that in the current now, I have a trapped emotion that I'm not, it's unconsciously, I'm not that aware of it, but it is kind of running the show right now. Creative insecurities held in my bladder. So I'm going to remove creative insecurity from my current life. And I breathe when I do this, and this is the central channel. And so and then exhale as you go back down your neck. You go as far back as you can, and you do it 3 times. So we're removing creative insecurity. And then you ask, did I clear that emotion? Yes. So, I will say, yeah, I'm feeling a little creatively insecure. You can write them down. I've got a whole notebook full of it, and now it's just slowing down my process. So, and I'm probably never going to go back and read it, line by line. So I've given up on that. You may want to keep up with it at first, and then move into a different space where You know that you're going to release some in the morning, and you totally let your higher self guide you. You could even ask, how many emotions do I need to, release today? Is it more than 10? No. Is it more than 5? No. Is it 1, 2, 3, 4? So right now I'm going to release 4. So we got 1 created insecurity. The next trapped emotion I need to release is in column A. Column B, row 1, row 2, row 3. Row 3 is lungs and colon. The emotions are confusion, defensiveness, grief, self-abuse, and stubbornness. Is it confusion, defensiveness, grief? That's been a big one for me lately. Is it in my lung, my colon? That's embarrassing. So, is this I know it's about the now. It may not be. Is it about the current now? Yes. Lately I have been processing a lot about the current now, but I could tell, I know I'm grieving. I just teared up about the dog I lost back in September. And I've been a real crybaby lately. So, is it about Carlos? Yeah, it's about my dog. Anyway, so let's release that. We're releasing grief from our colon, from the current moment. Did I release that? Yes. All right, the next trapped emotion that I need to release is in column A. Column B, row 1, row 2, row 3. Row 3 again, which is lungs and colon. Is it confusion, defensiveness, grief, self-abuse, lungs, colon? Is it about the current now? Yes. So, self-abuse, that sounds pretty bad. I don't know if it's about, I know it's about the current moment. Is it the way I'm thinking about myself? I drink way too much wine at night. I know that's what it is. But for the moment, I'm gonna have a couple of glasses of wine at night. Life's freaking hard right now. And that waxes and wanes, but trust me, red wine is good for you. So, is it about wine drinking? No. Is it about how I think about myself? Yes. All right, so I may beat myself up for drinking wine, but the self-abuse is probably, a lack of self-love. I work on that a lot. I think that lack of self-love is a core issue for every single person on this planet. It's a work in progress to learn how to love ourselves and have boundaries. So lately I've had very negative thoughts about myself. I'm really hard on myself for gaining weight. I'm active. I've gone through menopause though, and that's like this 10 pounds pissing me off. But I think about that. I'm just probably not being as good to myself as I could be. But I forgive myself for that. So let's remove the self-abuse from the current now. Removing self-abuse from our colon, from the current moment. Did we release that? All right, so that's 3. We have 1 more to go because my answer was 4. 4 is what I'm doing for you. The next trapped emotion I need to release is in column A, column B, row 1, row 2, row 3. That's lungs and colon again. Is it confusion? Is it defensiveness? Is it grief? Is it self-abuse? Is it stubbornness? Lungs, colon. Is this about the current now? No. Did it happen before I was 5, between 5 and 10, 10 and 15, 15 and 20, when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So it said 15. I just wanted to check, and I'll go through all those numbers. So I was 15 years old. And stubbornness. And sometimes I'm just going to tune in, and because I have been doing this for so long, you know, a good full year and a half maybe, because I've been doing this, I have developed, you know, a really good communication with my inner self. And often if I'm just quiet for a second, an emotion is vague, I'll remember, you know, that time. At first, this does not happen, so you get better and better and better, and some things that come up can surprise you, but Spirit's often very gentle with you. I doubt that you're going to tap into something and have an emotional breakdown. It's very easy and gentle, and a great process. So stubbornness at 15. Does it have anything to do with my mother, my father? I said mother. Was I attached to a particular emotion about my mother? All right, well, we're going to remove that, and I'll tell you a little bit about what that is. We're going to remove stubbornness from our 15-year-old self. All right, did I release that? Was it my lungs, my colon? No wonder I had tummy issues growing up. So, I mean, basically, it probably got an emotion from a big complex that I have in my unconscious. Yes, I said complex, based on like Jungian psychology, where you have different like complexes in there, and they get activated, and then they make you act a certain way. But so I had a mother wound, and I really wanted her to love me like she loved my sisters, and it's because of certain things, not her fault, it's totally unconscious. She would say, oh, I loved you just as much, and then she'd start ripping on my dad real hard, but your dad loved you and not your sisters and me. So everybody, gets to be a winner in something. And he's a McKinsey, so I came into his bloodline, so maybe she sensed that, I don't know. But anyway, stubbornness. I refused to let go of needing her to love me as much as my sisters forever, until my analyst was like, all right, I'm going to draw you a picture of how your family's structured. You're triangulated with your dad and your brother. Y'all are the shadows. You hold the shadow. Yay. And y'all are off here by yourself, and the rest of the family, my mom and her favorites, over there. And once I finally really did accept that, everything got much, much better. It took 400,000 years. Anyway, we don't have time for that kind of therapy anymore, so you need to do this for yourself. It's quick and it's painless, and you will not be triggered by those emotions again. I mean, they may be in there repetitively, but over time, you're going to notice some big issues that you clear these emotions out, and it's not going to make a damn bit of difference. You do not fall back into that emotional state, or start thinking the same way. It's like you just witness it objectively, and you're like, wow, that used to really trip me up. I used to turn into the Tasmanian devil when somebody would say that to me, and they would just kind of laugh, don't care. And that's beautiful, and that's what I want for you and everyone around you. So please use this method. And let me see if I can clear trapped inherited emotion for the Mackenzie bloodline. Scotland. All right. So I've already tuned in. Are there any trapped inherited emotions that I can remove for the Mackenzie bloodline? Yes. Is it in column A, column B, row 1, row 2, row 3? Confusion, defensiveness, grief. Okay. Is it the lungs, the colon? And by the way, in the Mackenzie family, colon cancer, huge history. It's not always fatal if it's caught, early enough. So I had a grandmother, my dad's mother, she'd had it early on. Her daughter, my dad, he did die of it just because it had spread everywhere. And anyway, so I feel like I'm helping. So let's clear out. I'll show you how you clear out. Oh, look, first let's find out how many generations. And I don't do this so well, but is it more than 10 generations? Is it more than 20 generations? So 10, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So I'll change it up for myself. It's 20 generations that we're doing right now. When I'm doing the numbers, the wrong ones, I'm going to pull tight and then it'll break on the one it wants me to stop at. I figured that out for myself. It may not work that way for you. It just assists me in going quicker and finding that number. I can double check it anytime, but so is it 20 generations? So 20 generations. Let's see, a generation is the time it takes for one person to grow up to be about, like, let's just say 20. Let's be very easy on ourselves for math purposes. 20 generations. Is that 400 years? It's not 4,000. But we know it's more than 40. So that's just 400 years ago. Somebody suffered from grief and could not process it, never got over it. It was trapped within their body through the DNA bloodline. It was passed on and probably just completely compounded over the centuries. So we're going to remove grief from the Mackenzie bloodline. And sometimes I'll just picture them all around because, it's them. Their kids had kids. Anyway, this is the Mackenzies from Scotland bloodline. I'm glad to help you guys out. I'm talking to them. So we'll release grief from the Mackenzie bloodline. All right, 10 times, probably more. I was worried that I would look foolish on the videos. I lost track of count. So did we release that for the Mackenzies? Yes. Anyway, so that's a trapped inherited emotion. They may come up over and over. But I do think grief was a particular part of our story. And hopefully this will connect you to your bloodline Basically, it means that with each passing generation, somebody came in to do this work. Who would be the one to come into the game, the illusion, and figure it out and start clearing all this stuff up and healing and repairing and evolving your DNA? It's pretty miraculous. I think a lot of people are doing this work now. It's almost like it's been revealed. Before, it would have been, a 1 in a million chance that somebody would wake up to this, but I think more and more people are waking up that yes, it's all in the blood, it's all in the DNA, that all the answers are. It's like how a computer is programmed. So, I hope this helps you. I am unfortunately going to leave the comments open, so be kind, people. I know I have a southern accent and I'm older, so don't tell me how ugly or fat I am. I don't need to hear that. I'm trying to heal. So namaste, and good luck on your journey. Learn to do this for yourself, and always remember that you are not a victim, you are a creator. So start creating your own reality and removing the toxic shit that is in the unconscious. Namaste. Bye-bye.